Yes, what is up, everybody? MuseMe TV. MuseMe TV, everybody. We are back. Episode, I don't even know anymore. An episode like 102. I'm pretty sure it's 102, but these are the glory episodes where you don't keep track anymore. You just do podcast after podcast, and I just be like, welcome to my next podcast. Doesn't matter anymore. Anyways, what is up, Jazz? We have Jazz in the studio, everybody.
What's up? What's up?
Jazz in the studio. Got live studio audience here, chilling out, hanging. And if you guys don't know, Jazz is actually a friend of our recurring guest, Irvin, Swervin Irvin. And yeah, so I was just like, hey, you want to be on the podcast? And she's like, I have good stuff to talk about.
I do.
So now you're here on the podcast, and we want to hear more about you and the stuff you want to talk about. Well, actually, this all started because Irvin was over here explaining the podcast, and we want to hear more about you and the stuff. Sorry. I have to see the comment section, but I clicked the wrong one. Anyways, Irvin was actually talking about the woman's menstrual cycle. So that's what was really awkward. And then you're just like, you need actually a woman's perspective on that. So where do you want to start us off on that?
I don't even know where to start.
What age do you think, if I was a woman, would I start bleeding?
Well, I mean, it's different for everyone, really.
It really is.
For me personally, I started bleeding like 6th grade, so I mean,
yeah,
so it could be really early or like maybe really late.
Well, okay, so if the viewers don't know as well, though, you are actually a lesbian.
Yes.
Or do you consider yourself bisexual?
No, definitely a lesbian.
A lesbian. Have you ever ventured with the male species?
I mean, a little.
A little? How did that go? What made you play for another team?
Alcohol? No.
Still going on? I'm just kidding. But yeah, like obviously, like a lesbian. Like, how does? I mean, I guess I'm a lesbian too, but that doesn't really work that way. But
I mean, if you want to be a lesbian, I guess you could be a lesbian.
See, in today's era, I should be able to, because if you get mad, I could just protest about it.
Exactly. Just protest for everything.
And nowadays, that's what people usually do. But anyways, I'm doing a couple switching on the podcast because I have to put it that this is explicit not for underage kids, because we will say stuff sometimes like penis and shit. We say that and fuck. I said that a few times before on the podcast. Yeah. But yeah, so tell us more about yourself, Jazz. You seem pretty nerdy. I like that about you.
I would say I'm pretty nerdy. I'm into some, I guess, nerdy things.
Yeah, like you play Animal Crossing.
Yes, I'm sickly obsessed with that game.
At the age of
23, almost 24.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, you're still pretty young.
Yeah,
I thought you were a little bit older.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the first.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm just saying because I'm old.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm already pretty old. I'm about to be 5,000.
Oh, damn.
I know, right?
Congrats.
Can't you tell? Look at it.
No, I definitely thought you were like 23, to be honest.
Yeah, but then you're just like, fuck, he's 30. It's kind of weird.
No.
Now I'm the cool 30-year-old.
Yeah, the cool one.
The cool one. But yeah, so yeah, we just usually talk about random stuff. We end up going into like psychological things.
Yeah, it gets pretty deep sometimes.
Ideas of stuff like that. How do you feel nowadays about just the way things are more with, like, okay, this is something that I feel is kind of weird but amazing at the same time, is that people are trying to be who they want to be in 2020, right? We have people transitioning into male to female. We have lesbians. We have the wide spectrum of everything that's going on here. But is it disheartening to you, because it is to me personally, when I'm still learning and getting to know all of this stuff, but somebody shines you down because you're just like, oh, I can't believe you don't know anything about that, or blah, blah, blah. Like, I guess you can say
gatekeeping?
Kind of, I guess. Yeah. Like, it's getting so, or not even gatekeeping. It's just like, what do you mean you don't know about this? Or like, how are you so unsensitive? Or there's certain aspects of it that are just kind of weird to me.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Are you a political person?
Not really, honestly. It's not my thing.
No.
Yeah, because I just like, it is what it is at the end of the day, really, if you ask me. So I think people should just do and be what they want when they want. Because, I mean, what else is there to do? Yeah.
It says like get better at a skill. Be cool.
Yeah.
Be awesome instead of like judgmental, I guess, right?
Yeah, 'cause there's no like benefit in being judgmental.
Right.
At least I don't think so. I wouldn't know because I'm not. So.
Are you sure? I mean, you
I don't
looked
know.
at me kind of weird the first time. I'm just kidding.
Whatever.
Jokes, people, jokes. I kicked the baby once. Jokes.
Oh my
They're
God.
all jokes. What is I don't know. See, like, what have you ever tripped on psychedelics?
Oh yeah.
Okay, what
Plenty
are
of times.
what do you feel is going on when you take a psychedelic? Do you feel that's another kind of awakening of our mind, or are we just tripping balls because we just ended up doing something weird? Like,
Well, I mean, I guess it depends on what you're trying to get out of it. If you go into like, a psychedelic experience wanting something and trying to manifest something, then you're gonna at some point within that experience reach like a certain level of like I guess awakening or like realization. But if you just go into it like, oh, I just want to have fun, just laugh, or just kick back, then you're just gonna have a fun time. So I mean, I think it's really about what you want out of it.
do you think you learn even though you did want to have this psychedelic trip, or didn't? Like, say you're just like, oh, I'm going into this to embrace life and learn more, or you're just like, yeah, I'm going to trip balls and have fun with my friends. But yet, either or, you still experience something or learn something from that, just that experience. Like, just like taking, I feel, so just a little backstory. The very first time I took mushrooms, I was just like, this is amazing, blah, blah, blah. But now when I take mushrooms, I'm like, this is amazing. Like, I'm learning and feeling stuff that I probably would never feel in any other way possible. Like, that blows me away in so many sense. Like, I obviously I'm sitting there giggling or laughing or like not really. It's not like I'm like trying to like talk to somebody like, telepathically or anything. I wish maybe, but it's just weird how some of those things are kind of going through the motion while you're still tripping. And if it happens or not, I don't know. Like, I think I'm just trying to get to like I need to trip again. It's been too long since I've tripped. That's pretty much what the moral of the story is.
I see. Well, I mean, I think there's something to gain regardless of like, the experience. Definitely, for sure.
What's so if you've tried mushrooms?
Yeah, and acid.
And acid. What do you feel is the difference?
Well, for me personally, acid's very like mental. Like I do a lot of like thinking.
That's
and,
not
like,
Corona, guys. It's just a dab cough.
Oops.
Go ahead.
Yeah, for me, acid's very like mental. Like it's a lot of me just thinking and stumbling upon different like realizations about myself or like situations and different things like that. I never really have, I guess, fun on acid. It's more of just like me very much in my head, just riding the wave of like knowledge. I don't know. There's a lot to learn about yourself, and I think people should really dig deeper into that. Not saying everyone should, go take a tab of acid, but
At least try it once,
yeah,
right?
just one time. I mean, I think it's good.
Or not even the acid, because like acid's cool and all, but I still think I get more of like a spiritual and a beneficial like one with the earth with a mushroom.
Really? See, I'm the opposite with mushrooms. Like, one, I get motion sickness. I hate that. Like, everything is literally just like I'm rocking on a boat 24/7. I hate that.
So the trips to you are totally different as well?
Oh yeah, very much. Like when I'm on shrooms, it's very like wavy, and I just like want to like laugh and do mischief. I don't know, like be like very adventurous. It's never like really mental for me. I never like find myself being like very like deep into a thought or like something. It's very just like, oh, let's go climb a tree right now. I don't know, something crazy but like fun.
Alexis B says hi, Jazz.
Hi, what's up?
This is Jazz. I'm pretty sure. I don't. Do you know who that is?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome!
Nice.
Yeah, thank you for joining.
Yeah, I told some of my friends to watch.
Thank you for tuning in. We're here hanging out with Jazz, just having a chat.
Chit chat.
Yeah, just random stuff, talking about psychedelics. She's not political. She's not political at all.
No.
What else? It's Lex. That's all she said.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's my friend Lex. I'm in this group chat. It's called See a Chug, Send a Chug. It's very
See a chug, send a chug?
yes. It's so let's say someone in the group chat like sends a video of them chugging a beer. Well, everyone that sees it has to send back a video of them chugging a beer.
So what if you like don't see it till the next morning?
Then you wake up and you just chug your beer.
That is very very irresponsible. This group is very irresponsible.
It's Corona time.
It's like that's the only way we can social drink now.
Basically. But I mean, we talk about other things too, like just normal stuff.
As well as
Usually during the daytime, but at nighttime it's a party.
that's when things go pop. That's when things are popping. What is yeah, see, I'm part of boring group chats. Nothing too exciting, like business shit.
Oh.
Like I know there's this Facebook group that I kind of helped make that has quite a bit of members, like over 60,000.
Yeah.
But like I'm part of the business group chat end of it, and it's just like all like, oh, this person said this, should we delete this post? Or and again, it's over like so much people posting, so there's like a team, like a little team of people. What are they called? Like moderators and shit like that. But that's weird too. I think I'm getting too old for these times of like moderating on a group chat and shit like that.
Yeah, it doesn't seem very fun or rewarding.
Yeah, it does.
I guess.
So okay, so example, if the comment section and stuff started to boom more, and you were just typing, moderating, like you're just like, hey everybody, welcome to the chat. You guys are all cool, and then they start talking to you. Is that entertaining, or are you just like, oh goddamn, now I have to type to this guy?
I mean, I guess it depends.
Yeah.
Depends. Yeah.
I'm just trying to weed out little things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, actually.
Tea, peach tea. I see.
Yes, I am obsessed with tea. That's all I drink. Like, I drink water too, obviously. But if I'm gonna drink a drink,
Obviously.
But tea, I definitely like raspberry teas of all sorts. That's my thing. I don't know why or how it even started, really. But raspberry tea is like my favorite thing, and I guess sweet tea, and then Tivana before it closed.
What?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, Tivana was like my heaven. It's like this store, you go in there, and they just have like this wall of like dried teas and containers. And there's like all different kinds, and they have like samples throughout the store. And it's
okay.
It's really nice.
Just like literally nothing but tea.
Like, yeah, literally. And if you want them to like make you like a drink, that you can and stuff. It's like the best place on earth. And then they closed because I think they sold out to Starbucks or something like that. I don't know. But something like that. But I was really sad when they closed. So now I just drink these canned teas. Usually raspberry kind or fruit punch Arizona, but only in a can.
Only in a can.
Yes, the fruit punch Arizona is not good in the bottle. I don't hear what anyone says.
I don't even want to hear about this whole why it's not good in a bottle.
It's just different. The can just gives it like that like full on like.
This is technically good 6 feet apart. I don't know how to say your name, Havaj. And technically we've both been tested multiple times. So yeah. And your work establishment has you wear like a mask and stuff.
Yeah.
And that kind of sucks, right?
Yeah, it does. It's kind of itchy.
But you know what? We do it because we're essentials, okay?
I feel like a superhero sometimes.
You're welcome. You are welcome. Anyways. So how do you feel about having this whole corona thing going on? Is it an inconvenience? Do you think it's a conspiracy? Are they trying to get us? Are they trying to make us stay at home because they can patrol us easier? Like, what's not to say they're not watching us right now through the stream? They're just like, yeah, these guys are cool. They're at home, not doing anything.
I don't really know how I feel about it. Like, I feel like it's somewhat real. I mean, but I just don't really know to what extent. And it doesn't really, like, affect my life too much because, like, I've still been going to work, and I don't really do much else except for hang out with, like, my friends, and I was already hanging out with them before. So, I mean, it's like life's the same, just slightly more boring.
Slightly more boring.
Yeah.
But you don't feel like it's too much of a... I don't know. It's weird because, like, people are kind of... I mean, I get it. It's really severe and shit's going down. But then I'm just like... But it's not... Well, they said it was going to be worse than it is. It's not. Like...
Yeah. Right? I don't know. That's what doesn't make sense. I think there's just so much we don't know. about it, and that's what makes it like sketchy. If you ask me, like, and I'm really big on conspiracies and stuff, so I try not to like feed into that too much because then I'll go like in this whole tangent and get like so deep into it. And I don't want to be like one of those 5G people because I don't think it has anything to do with 5G.
No, probably really doesn't.
Like, I think that's a little far-fetched right there. But
there's so many, like, what do they say? China did it on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
They released it on purpose. There's that conspiracy.
I guess my only like conspiracy would be is that this is just a way for them to like test out martial law for something bigger and better, I guess, in their eyes later.
Interesting.
So, yeah, because I mean, I believe in like FEMA camps and all that stuff happening. So.
Well, it is happening.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I'm like, this is just a test run for martial law.
For like an even more intense kind of patrol.
Like this time it's Corona, next time it'll be like some random bombing or who knows.
Do you work late? Are you like a late worker sometimes, or are you like a morning shift kind of thing?
Usually like morning, midday.
Okay, 'cause did your work have to give you a piece of paper saying that you were an essential worker?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, because I'm pretty sure Irving got one too, but yeah, they actually gave us a paper because they were pulling people over because there was like a curfew at night.
Jeez.
Did you know about this?
No, I didn't.
Wow.
That's so funny. I usually go skating around like midnight.
No, you didn't have no problems or anything?
No.
Nothing? Yeah, they gave us a piece of paper saying just in case you get pulled over or anything, you got to show them this saying that you're an essential worker and you have to be out at these hours. Jeez. So that was crazy. How do you feel about the mask? You feel like it's a mandatory thing or is it a choice?
I feel like it should be a mandatory thing.
You feel it should be a mandatory thing?
Well, if it's as bad as they say it is, and it's like, doing so much harm, and they want to open up so bad, then yeah, I think it should be a mandatory thing.
But right now, in the sense of, it's like in limbo right now.
Yeah.
Like, is it mandatory or is it not?
I know, because like at my work, like we don't have to like tell the customers like they have to wear a mask. Like they can come in with one or without. But then I go to the gas station up the street here, and they're like, you can't come in without a mask. So I'm like, so is it a law or is it not? Yeah, see, that's
that fine line that kind of makes it more like sketchy,
Yeah.
Makes it feel weird, especially if you go into a store where you're just like, oh man, I forgot my mask, and literally you can't go into the store because you forgot it.
Yeah.
Like,
and then it just brings upon like such an anxiety. Like if you don't have a mask, you're like everyone's like watching you or something. Like you're like gonna like kill the universe.
That makes that makes no sense either, because it's just like you don't know the situation of what's going on either. Like again, in my case too. In my case, like, what the fuck? My mic turned off, but I actually heard it. I've been tested multiple times, and I don't have it. So I literally don't have it. Like, even if I did or don't have my mask on, I'm not spreading it, and I'm more likely to get it, but whatever.
Yeah.
That's on my risk, but I don't have it. So you can't, like, give me that face or that look where you're just like, oh, he just walked into the store without a mask. That dude has it for sure because he's that kind of person. He walks around with no mask.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's weird times.
What am I supposed to do?
Yeah, it's just such weird times. Everything's just super weird and sketch about all this. But then I think it's like we've never lived through a pandemic, so maybe this is normal, Maybe this is how shit goes down. I don't know.
That makes sense.
So it just makes it extra just like mysterious. But then I also heard that apparently you can get a doctor's note saying you don't have to wear a mask. So I'm like, what defines like you needing not like a doctor's note?
Yeah, see, that's
like I don't get that.
That's kind of stupid in itself too. Like, what could it be, like an allergic reaction to the material?
I suppose,
maybe.
But I mean, you can make a mask out of anything.
Plastic, for God's sake.
Exactly. So it's like, is it really like? I don't know. It's just all so mysterious.
How do you? Well, I mean, we'll have to see what happens, what goes down. I just don't want to. All I'm scared of is that I don't have a gun, and if they tell me that I need a mask 24/7, and they point a gun at my face because I don't have a mask, then we'll have problems.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's still kind of weird, and I'm just being an asshole at this point, but I totally fucking hate people that are driving around with gloves and a mask on. I'm just like, what are you doing?
Like in their cars.
In the car.
It's
Like
a little weird to me too.
in your car.
Like, all right, look at you being safe.
Your windows are rolled up. You're driving super fast, but yet you have a mask and gloves on. That's so. I was so surprised when that happened today. I was just like, just watching this guy drive by. Like, life is like this now, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
But I mean, I shouldn't be too disappointed because we're eventually about to get Neuralinks. Have you heard of this?
What is that?
Neuralinks is like this little microchip that's going to get to be implanted in your brain. Elon Musk invented this. It's pretty awesome. It's a small little microchip that has like 1,000 hair-like follicles, needles that go into different parts of your brain, and they'll send like a shock to activate those parts. Say what they're initially doing it for is to somebody that has a paralyzed leg, something, or maybe can't have a sense of smell or something, so that these receptors can now be activated with the chip. But you'll also be able to like have vast knowledge and like be able to know a lot of shit. Like Google Maps will be in your brain, all that, like dope. Elon Musk says we won't need to talk to each other anymore. It'll be speechless.
See, that just all brings me back to my whole like FEMA camp, mind control, government
So
bullshit. So I'm just like,
That's still a little scary
now,
to you.
huh?
The microchip is still a scary little thought to you?
I guess. I mean, I'm not down for it.
You're not down for it.
No, definitely not.
I'm just saying, guys, I want a microchip in my head. Elon, if you're listening to this, let me please be the first human testing.
Volunteers tribute, eh?
I'll totally go down as the first one. What did they say? It probably have like the mark of the beast. That's how you get it. It's like, oh, it's not going to be a number. It's going to be a barcode. Oh, it's going to be a microchip. Like, hail Satan, I guess. I don't know. I'm not really religious.
Me either.
I mean, I kind of believe, but I kind of don't.
On the day, I guess.
Right? Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty sure right when I'm about to die, I'll be like, "Oh God, please, please, God."
I think we all will a little bit.
Yeah, but other than that, I'm just like, dude, what the fuck? Aliens and multiverse. I believe in Rick more than I believe in you. I hate that.
Yes. Like, I'm religious, but I believe in a lot of things and a lot of different ideas. So
Explain. So,
Well,
okay. Do you believe that there is like a God?
I mean, to an extent, yeah, I do. I think there's definitely a higher power of some sort.
Some sort of higher power.
Like, not necessarily like a God, but yeah.
So is it not based off of, or is it based off of the Christian ideology, like the Bible and stuff like that, or is it just I believe in something more powerful than
growing up, my parents made me go to church like a lot.
So you grew up religiously.
Yes, and so that's kind of like what made me like kind of dive into religion and stuff. And like I guess I did believe in God for a while, but then as I like grew up and like learned about other things and stuff, I like dipped in and like created my own beliefs. Like I definitely believe some things that go along with the Bible for sure, but like there's other things out there. Like I believe in like numerology and like astrology and all that kind of stuff too.
And chakras.
And yeah, all that kind of stuff. What?
Just kidding.
Oh, whatever. Who's judging now, eh?
It's okay. I believe we're in a simulation, so we all have our crazy thoughts and theories.
So, I mean, there's a whole bunch of different things. So.
But that's the beauty of what growing up now that I'm older and stuff, I love that it's better to keep an open mind to it all, even though I don't know what it is. Like, there's so many possibilities. Like, I just don't know. Like, that's the beautiful thing about the whole thing is, like, maybe there is the God, or maybe there is the simulation, or maybe there is us in, like, a little microdome in, like, space or something. You know, the possibilities are endless, but I just don't know.
Yeah,
and that's the beautiful thing about it. I feel like that's the most amazing thing, is that we just don't know. And the thrive to want to know makes us even more amazing, because however you want to imagine it or however you want to think about it, because my parents are pretty religious, like they believe in all that stuff, and I feel bad sometimes when I'm just like they're always trying to push it on me. They're just like, oh, Hito, you need to go to church more, or oh, you should be more religious, and I'm just like, But I'm not. You see, it's not what I think of and believe in anymore.
Exactly.
But it's not a bad thing either, because obviously it helps them live their life too. Like, I could just imagine if my mom didn't believe in that stuff, she'd just be like some crazy lady, like just like
for sure.
So it's weird how it structures life as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know that much about religion either. It's like I hear that like, oh, there's a Jesus character out there, and then all of a sudden you're just like, oh yeah, it's a freaking there's other Jesus characters out there and other histories, but they just have different names. And that blows me away too. Or like the Noah's Ark story, there's millions of not millions, but a lot of stories with the same similarities.
Concept, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, that's so weird.
It is really weird how a lot of religions are kind of essentially the same thing, just different names and terms and stuff. It's really interesting. That's why I like studying different religions too, to see what they like call it and how they view it. But
So that just obviously means that we're all connected.
in one way or another, I think so.
We have to be. Like, it makes no sense if it was just like random bits of, well, again, it's a simulation. We were all put on here eventually. I still believe in the simulation theory. It's very real. You look up in the sky and you can't even see where it ends. What's going on there?
Well, why do you think that is?
Because it's like the rendering of the image can only go so far. Like, you know when you play a game
Yes.
and you walk that far and you're just like, look, I can see towards the horizon, but then you walk farther and then you see it as it goes by.
Like in Animal Crossing.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, because you're kind of, but that's more of like a spherical kind of thing. Like, I don't know.
You don't think the world looks spherical?
No, it's flat. Do you not know this?
I mean, yes.
Wow.
But
we have
no.
a round earther here, guys.
I mean, if you look at the sky, you can definitely tell that it's a dome. I feel like, at least.
Well, a dome?
Like, it's like definitely like spherical. Like, when I look up at the sky, I don't think it's like, oh, that's a pretty flat sky there. Like, you know.
I guess it makes sense.
Yeah. But I just feel like you can't see like past it, because past its space, and we just can't see that far.
Why?
Because we don't have that kind of vision. Now, if we had that kind of vision, I mean, I don't know. Maybe, what if we could see all the way to space? Do you think that would change things?
We kind of do. I mean, I guess the telescope, right?
Yeah, but that's only like so clear and so like, that's one area. I'm talking like, if like the way we look at the sky now. Like, what if you like look at the sky and then you are like, okay, I want to look farther. I want to look at like the moon, and so your eyes like fucking shifted so you could literally see that far, and it would cover like the whole sky. Like, wouldn't that be crazy?
That is kind of weird to think about too. Is like, because you kind of can see it like the way a camera works, right? Like, you know how just like the lens.
Yeah.
Like, our eyes really don't do that.
No,
like,
exactly.
It's not like I can like look at you and just be like, oh, I'm
Zoom
totally,
in.
yeah, I can't zoom in.
Yeah, exactly.
What the fuck?
So what if we could do that? So then, I mean, I don't know. Do you still think the Earth is flat?
No.
See, round Earther.
No, what is it? I've been converted. Hallelujah! I've been converted. That makes sense, though.
Yeah. See.
That's one thing that I've felt was kind of weird too. How people actually jumped on that ship of like, oh my god, the world is flat. Like, I don't know. How did you feel about that? I mean, there's still a lot of people out there, not me, obviously not anymore, that believe the Earth is flat.
I think that's kind of crazy. Like, I don't know. Like, it's very like how could you think the world is flat? So if the world's flat, it doesn't have to have a start and an end point. So where does the world start and where does it end?
Well, that's where they're like, that's where they say like, oh, they're lying to us. They have a start and an end point.
But where? People have been all over the world. People live all over the world. So wouldn't someone see or know or live close enough to it?
I don't think that there's ever actually been somebody that went directly all the way around the world, from the starting point all the way around and got back to the beginning point. There's always been that whole, oh, let's go from Hawaii to Japan, or from Japan all the way to California, or they've never gone all the way around to the same point.
Well, what if you went
But
from like California to Japan, and then from Japan to London to Florida back to California. Wouldn't that be all the way around the world? Technically, that's like a circle.
Yeah, but that's not one consecutive shot.
Well, if you just don't stop the plane.
But that's not how it works, though. It's never been done that way.
Not yet. See, the
See, and that-
simulation hasn't grown to that level.
Our simulation is almost perfect. Look at us.
We're living in a pandemic.
That's perfect. That's exactly what's going on to like make things like smoothen out. We probably roughen up the simulation. It ruined it a little bit.
I see. Simulation genocide.
But I don't know. It's just, I don't know. The simulation. It's kind of weird. Fabe One Up says, it's Jazz.
What's up? What's up, Fabi?
Thank you for joining. We're just here chilling, having conversations about random stuff. She's not political. She hates round things.
Round things?
So yeah. Are you into comedy? Do you like any comedians?
There's this one guy on Netflix who like does stand-up comedy shirtless, and he's really funny. I like him.
Shirtless.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about just by saying that.
Yeah, he's super funny.
Is his nickname The Machine?
I don't know, maybe.
I'll show you a picture of him.
All right.
But I think the guy you're talking about is called Bert Kreischer.
Yeah, him. He's really funny. I like watching his stuff because he just kind of just rambles on, and it's kind of funny. He is a
pretty funny guy. Yeah.
When I was younger, I watched a lot of Chelsea Handler.
Really?
I really loved her show.
All right, that dude.
Yeah, that guy right there. That's him. Yeah, he's really funny.
How do you feel about comedy if it was censored? Do you feel like everything should be made fun of or nothing should be made fun of?
I mean...
Is there a certain point where people are just like, oh, you shouldn't be saying that? Like kick a baby.
I mean, I just laugh at that. So, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like if you don't want to see or hear it, don't watch it. I mean, I feel like a lot of people get offended by a lot of things on their own free will. Like, you know? I mean, some things I definitely understand. Like, yeah, definitely get, like, worked up about it. But nowadays, most things that people get worked up about, it's like, dude, you didn't have to care about that. You know?
It makes sense, yeah. Especially, like, for little things, too. Like that's, because, again, there's a thing to a joke. Like, I have this philosophy. I've heard it a few times before, too. But if it's funny to somebody, then somebody hates it.
Yeah, for sure.
No matter what. Like, even the most basic, like, knock, knock, who's there, blah, blah. Randy who? Randy on the other side.
Right.
Like, if somebody laughed at that, there's somebody on the opposite spectrum that hates that, like, with a passion. And I feel like that's that whole yin and yang situation. So no matter what, you'll always find humor in anything you say. Like, anything. Like, this peach tea, like, I don't know if you're thinking the same thing I am, but that thing needs to get in my butt quick. See? Like, it's weird, but some people are probably like, why would you ever say that? Or you could probably be like, that's my tea. Why do you want to put it in my butt, in your butt?
Exactly.
Like, there's a bunch of those scenarios, but it's funny. Like, no matter what, I feel like that's in everything. Like, so you should be able to say anything or anything you want in comedy, because no matter what, it's vice versa.
For sure.
I feel. I don't know.
No, I definitely see that, and I agree with that. I like that.
It's an idea.
Hell yeah.
That's my take.
Hell yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah. Get a penalty for that one. So, Jazz, have you lived in New Mexico your whole life?
Oh, no.
No?
No, I just moved here, I think, about, like, 7 months ago now.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Get out of my house.
Whatever.
Just kidding. Where are you from?
Minnesota.
Get out of my house.
Whatever.
Minnesota?
Yeah, Minnesota.
What's it like up there?
Cold.
All the time?
Not all the time, no. Just in the winter time, which seems to last, like, forever.
Okay.
But it's definitely not this hot there right now.
So you grew up in Minnesota?
Yeah, I lived here like my whole life.
What made you come here?
Just try something new. I have some friends here and stuff too, so that helped my decision for sure.
So you came? Did you come on your own?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Way.
Ballsy.
I suppose.
I'm scared. I've been wanting to leave New Mexico my whole life, but I'm a little bitch.
Why are you scared?
Because I don't know. I don't know anything else.
That's what makes it exciting.
I know, but it's still scary. Like financially, I'm just like I already know that I can make it here.
Mm-hmm.
But if I go somewhere else, I'm just like, fuck, what if I can't do it? And then what if I'm like stuck there? Or what if I have to go back with my parents? Or all these dumb scenarios that I feel like that are kind of like weighing me down on doing something like that.
Well, that just makes you work like 10 times harder to,
But you
like,
did it.
You know, keep afloat.
But you did it.
Yeah, I did.
That's
somehow.
awesome. Like like, do you feel it was a good change?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think I needed it for sure. And I'm kind of happy I did it. So
Nice.
yeah, I think it's all good.
See, in here I thought you're like a native New Mexican.
No.
You're like, yeah, she knows all about green chili.
I mean, now I do. Yeah, definitely. I love that stuff.
You're still learning, though. Now that I know this, you're barely learning. Like, you know who Selena is?
Like the singer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, see, that was a little weird. The fact that you had to ask me.
Well, I'm just making sure we're talking about the same person or like thing.
That's if you're from New Mexico, you know exactly who I'm talking about. What's another weird New Mexico thing? I don't know. I can't think. I'm not from New Mexico, I guess.
No?
I don't know. I've lived a lot of different places in New Mexico. Like I've lived in Albuquerque. I've lived in Los Lunas. There's a little like smaller town in Los Lunas called Meadow Lake. That's pretty crazy. I lived in Taos, in that area, like northern New Mexico. So I understand the coldness too, because up there it's like ski season and they have like wooded forests and stuff like that. Have you ever gone anywhere in New Mexico besides Albuquerque?
I've been to Gallup. I've been to Santa Fe.
Gallup? What did you do in Gallup?
What's wrong with Gallup?
Oh God.
Anyways, I've been to Santa Fe.
Santa Fe's culturally cool, I guess.
Yeah, it's pretty
You're
hipsterish.
Yeah, you're like, oh, look at this. It's Adobe.
Me and Spervin went to Bernalino the other day.
Bernalino?
Yeah.
Bernalillo.
Okay, well, yeah, that.
She said Bernalino.
It was late and I was tired. Okay, well, we went there and I've been to Rio Rancho. I guess if, like, counts as a different like city.
Kind of, yeah.
It's like the same. To me, it's like the same as Albuquerque. It's just like farther away.
Yeah, that's kind of like yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I don't know.
There's some beautiful spots here you should check out.
Yeah.
Like the Taos area, like the mountain area. Just go check that out.
Oh, I've been in the mountains.
Like where?
Like
Sandias, maybe?
Probably. Well, yeah, I've been up to the crest, and then where Spervin's property is, I've been up there. So like in the East Mountains, up in that little area.
Dope.
Yeah, it's really nice up there.
And then just go south, and there's all that cool desert. They're just like the white
desert.
sand, yeah, and the Carlsbad Caverns and shit like that. I don't think the caverns are open though. I don't know. It's weird. Oh, so what can you tell me about Minnesota that is like weird and significant? Like, okay, you obviously know a little bit of New Mexico history being here, right? Like we came up with the atomic bomb. And
I didn't know that.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy fuck. What do they teach you in Minnesota?
Not that, honestly, not very much about New Mexico, except for that Roswell has aliens.
That's really, they taught you that?
I'm down to see some aliens in Roswell for sure.
But they taught you that.
Well, yeah.
They didn't tell you. Aliens. They didn't tell you that we worked hard to make a nuclear weapon, that it was actually tested here.
I mean, maybe in school, but I didn't pay very much attention.
You're like, I didn't give a fuck.
I was busy doing other things.
No, that's crazy. Like, I've always wanted to know history about other states, like how stuff like that, like maybe something significant. Like, what's a history of Minnesota that you know that's kind of significant?
Geez, I'm like, I don't think I even know anything like significant about my state because I'm not very much a fan of it, I guess. I know the Mississippi River starts there.
Okay.
And I've been there before.
The Mississippi starts there.
Yeah, like I've been to where it starts. So that's pretty cool and really cold up there depending on the time of the year you go.
All right.
We have the Mall of America. I don't know, is that history?
The Mall of America?
Yeah, I mean, that place is pretty incredible, but I kind of also really hate it. It's like the worst mall I've ever been to in my life.
Why is that?
Because it's like this huge mall. in like downtown Minnesota area, whatever, Minneapolis or something.
The Mall of America in Minnesota.
Yes, it's like this huge mall. Like literally, if you walk the whole thing, I think it's like 6 miles. It's ridiculously huge, and it's always packed, and it's always overpriced. It has like every store that you could possibly think of inside of it, and they like right here, and they have an amusement park inside of it. Like it's this whole like thing. Like Mall of America is seriously, and it's really funny because before they made it, Nickelodeon Universe used to be Camp Snoopy like themed and like Peanuts themed, and it was the cutest, best thing ever. Like literally, they had like little like Snoopy statues all over the mall of like different like styles and paintings, and it was cool.
Oh, okay.
Like Google Camp Snoopy Mall of America. That's way better than this Nickelodeon bullshit. Like they have a SpongeBob roller coaster that literally goes like straight up in the air. It's the scariest thing of my life. They even have like a log ride that like gets you all wet and everything. They have like a mini golf course. This mall is crazy. They have a movie theater in it. So that's a pretty cool thing, I guess. Yeah, right here, Camp Snoopy. Like, how wholesome. Look at that. That big Snoopy.
You're just like happy. You walk in.
Yeah. This is
like, oh, Snoopy, I'm safe here.
For real. Like, look at this. This is amazing. Well,
and then little did you know that guy in the corner is a child pedophile.
Whatever.
Just watching all you guys. Look at all these kids. Yeah, I love it.
No, Camp Snoopy is a safe place. But yeah, Mall of America, I don't know, that's a pretty cool thing about Minnesota, for sure. And we have this thing called the Spoon and Cherry at this like really awesome museum. That's like a significant, I guess, like thing.
Dope.
Like if you don't have a picture of the Spoon and Cherry, I just don't believe you're from Minnesota, honestly.
Okay.
Like it's a pretty like it's literally like a huge like Spoon and Cherry statue. It's been there for like as long as I can remember, so I'm gonna say a long time.
23 years.
For surely 23 years, yeah.
At least.
At least that long.
That's cool though. That's some cool little history facts about Minnesota. I mean, again, I don't know. That's why I'd like to learn about other states and stuff.
I like that there's a lot of lakes there too.
Are they connected to the Great Lakes?
I think we only have one, and that's Lake Superior, and that's like way up north. Like that's connected, but yeah, because we're kind of close to Wisconsin and all that other yeehaw.
I was looking for like history. It looks like you were turned into a state in 1858.
Interesting.
That's way before us.
Jeez.
We were turned into a state in 1912.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, it's not even that long ago.
And your started develop with natural resources were tapped from logging and farming. I guess that's cool.
I believe that. There's a lot of trees and a lot of farms.
Well, it's a like a foresty area, right?
I guess depending where you are, yeah, for sure. But there's definitely a lot of like greenery there and a lot of like state parks and city parks and stuff like that. So yeah.
Pink and white lady slipper.
Oh, that's like my favorite flower.
That's your guys' state flower.
It's a nice looking flower for sure.
Is it now?
Yeah, it is.
The common loon. Do you know what the common loon is?
Yeah, those things are annoying.
That is your
Have you ever
state
heard
bird.
a loon before?
No.
They're so annoying.
Let's listen to a loon noise.
Like, I mean, maybe I just think it's annoying because I've literally heard them like my whole life, but it's so annoying.
Here we go.
It's like worse than an owl, I say.
Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
On many an occasion, I've been camping in the Adirondacks, and one of my favorite.
And you hear that?
Yeah, but I mean, like, depending where you are is not like that creepy and like echoey. I don't know where he
You'll
is.
hear one
So,
individual of the pair.
like, if you're just like at a
long,
normal
mournful
pond and there's one
wail,
there, it'll not.
which is
It's not gonna
essentially
sound like
saying,
that.
This
I'm
just
here,
makes it sound
where
like
are
all
you?
creepy.
Yeah, I'm like, that's it, but
Generally,
it doesn't sound that
moments
creepy.
later, you'll hear the response from the other member of the pair giving its wail, saying, I'm over here.
Yeah, I'm like, that's worse than an owl.
Yeah, I'm done with that bird.
See?
Well, at least your bird is like makes noise.
What's your bird?
The roadrunner.
Those things are so annoying. My neighborhood is like infested with those little fuckers.
Really?
I almost ran one over on my skateboard the other day.
But it's a roadrunner. It could have run away.
They run really fast. They really are fast.
That's it's so sad too that that's based off a cartoon. You know, the whole coyote roadrunner thing.
Yeah,
Sad.
it's very sad.
Well, we also have history with Bugs Bunny. He did a wrong turn here at Albuquerque. I don't know if you've ever heard that.
No.
Yeah, there's like this big saying Bugs Bunny says. It's like, it looks like I took a wrong turn at Albuquerque.
How cute.
You know.
I don't
Well,
know.
there's some more New Mexico history for you. I'm trying to turn you into a native New Mexican tonight.
Yeah. Let's see if we can get there.
Do you have any native friends?
Back home I do.
Not in New Mexico.
No. What?
That's so un-New Mexican. Just kidding. Jesus. I'm just going to look up what's going on Twitter at this moment.
I love
COVID-19.
Twitter.
COVID-19, New Zealand PM flags 4-day work week to boost its shuttered economy.
Your Twitter sounds very political.
It is.
My Twitter is like
Memes.
bombarded with
Meme
EDM
central.
Twitter. EDM Twitter is now my life.
What does that even mean?
It's just like EDM Twitter is just like the EDM community on yes, on Twitter.
Right,
But
when you
it's like-
log in, it's up.
But it's like reality TV sometimes. Like someone's always mad about something on there. So it's just lots of but there's a lot of funny stuff too. Like a lot of people I follow retweet and share like the most absurd things. I'm just like, wow. You can say anything on the internet, I guess.
So it looks like FedEx is really having this bad thing going on right now. It's boycott FedEx.
Why? Didn't we just boycott Amazon and Target last week?
They're being anti-black. It says.
Oh Lord.
There's a video here. It just
To
has,
me like that, like I'm some child. Ain't that to me like crap. But you didn't have to come out there cussing me like that, like I'm some child. I ain't no little boy. I'm no little boy. I'll wait till the police come.
Baldwin told me to take down this video and
You can
fired both
record
of
all
us
you want,
today.
bro. I got
That's
you.
right there.
I got
That's
you,
where his
bro.
power at right there. That's your power. That's
Doesn't
his
matter
power.
what.
That's where your power at right there.
Essential workers.
Man, I ain't finna waste my time with you. You got my information. You got my information. They'll find me. They'll find me. You need to get your glasses back on. Yeah, I thought you were gonna whoop my ass too. But you didn't have to
So
come
I'm
out
very
there cussing me
confused
like that,
on what's
like
going. See, that's the shitty part about Twitter too. Is like if you don't know what's going on and you just
Yeah.
go to it, holy shit! There's a freaking war going on now.
Yeah, there's a lot of context like left out of that video too.
So I wonder what it really is. Like if it's not just this person that's dealing with this, but there's more. You know, like obviously other workers, and I don't know if it's because of an anti-black thing or because maybe that person didn't want to wear a mask.
Maybe.
Why is this happening?
I know, it's ridiculous nowadays.
I really, I don't know. I really don't. In other news, Megan Fox stars in Machine Gun Kelly's new music video,
Oh my god.
Bloody Valentine. Guys, if you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. Megan Fox stars in Machine Gun Kelly's new video. Do you like Machine Gun Kelly?
I guess.
Oh my god.
don't
Leave
know.
my house.
I listen to a lot of EDM music. I don't really listen to
So
like,
you're
much of-
you're an EDM person.
Yes. for
Totally
sure.
just take some ecstasy and just,
Well, I mean, not just like for shiggles.
that seems fun though. I like rave music and stuff too because it's really like energetic, gets you like really into the mood.
Definitely.
But I mean, I like so much music, like a lot of music.
Well, I mean, I listen to other stuff too, but not so much like Machine Gun Kelly stuff.
No,
I listen to like R&B, like
Caribbean pop.
Caribbean pop. What's that?
Exactly what it sounds like.
Well, I don't know what Caribbean music sounds like, so I wouldn't know what Caribbean pop would begin to sound like.
What is that? It's like kind of like reggaeton, but with the saxophone.
Okay, okay.
Just kidding. I don't know.
I'm like, oh, okay.
I'm just making up these sounds, dude. It's a genre that needs to be invented.
But I listen to a lot of like lo-fi beats too. I like that stuff.
Lo-fi.
Yeah, it's like lo-fi chill beats.
I don't know what that is. Let's look it up.
Really? It's just like music to like study to or like
Lo-fi noise, or should I look up lo-fi beats?
lo-fi chill beats or something like
Chill
that.
beats.
Yeah, and then I'll just play like some chill lo-fi stuff. No, it's not like that. It's not like that.
Ooh.
Oh, boy. I'm gonna drag you to a rave, Angel.
I've been to a rave.
Lit Mobile just sent me this.
No, I'm not sponsored by you guys, so you guys cannot have advertising spots on my show. There you go. What the fuck? Oh, this is a live.
Even better.
This is a live hip hop radio beats to relax / study to.
Lo-fi.
Lo-fi. That sounds like a Wi-Fi or something. Here we go.
Kind of spelled like that.
This is lo-fi?
Well, this is a hip hop one. There's different kinds.
But this is kind of like the mood to it.
Yeah. So good for like studying, meditating, I don't know, doing anything. I like to wash dishes to them or play Animal Crossing to them. Sometimes I fall asleep to just like different ones.
Interesting. There's 28,000 people watching. So it must be doing something right.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Listen now on Spotify. Link in the description below. Interesting. Lo-fi.
Lo-fi.
Now I know. Lo-fi is a thing. How long have you been into that?
Just as of recently, because at first I didn't really know what it was, and I kept like seeing it like everywhere. And then like one day on Twitter, like some like lo-fi like account followed me, and so I went to their page to see what it was, and they had like all these different like videos of different like lo-fi beats, and I was like, this is kind of cool. And so then I just kind of dabbled around on YouTube and found different videos that I like for different things. So yeah, and now here I am. That's into lo-fi.
Lo-fi. Well, that's cool. Like I can get the whole chillness and just chilling out to it.
Mm-hmm.
Seems pretty dope.
Hell yeah.
Freaking. I don't know. It's been a long day. How was your day today?
My day was kind of long too, I feel like.
Did you work today?
Yes.
With the mask?
Yeah.
Good job. That's what we're here for.
Work was just tiring because, I don't know, my boss was there all day.
Was he yelling at you?
No.
He looks like he's a yeller. It.
No.
I'm sorry.
Not really. She never really yells at me because, I don't know.
You're a good worker?
I suppose.
What is that supposed to mean?
I mean, I do. I'm supposed to. But
They're like, Jazz. And then you're just like, oh, yeah, what's up? I'm here.
Like, I'm like here. I could be here. Just like,
I feel that level, too. I'm just like, I don't get paid enough to be up there.
Pretty much, yeah. And the customers lately have just been, like, so rude and, like, ridiculous.
Do you think it's because of COVID?
I don't know. Something. Like, the other day I had to chase this lady down. Like, literally.
For money?
No, because
like, where are you leaving with them?
No, we have this regular customer, and he comes in all the time, and he always comes from the Target across the street. And for some reason, like this time, he left his groceries outside while he came inside. But I was like, whatever, like, sure, old man. Because I don't think he's all there. And so he came inside, and he was ordering a sandwich, and I was putting it together. And all of a sudden, this lady out of nowhere, she walks up, and she starts digging through his bags. And I was like, hey, sir, like, do you know her? He's like, oh, no, my stuff. And so he knocked on the window, and he's like, hey, that's mine. And she's all like, F you. And I was just like,
holy shit.
I'm just kind of standing there like,
this is going down.
I'm like, okay. And then he's like, was going to go walk out to like talk to her or something. And she saw him coming, so she grabs like 4 of his bags and she just books it. And I'm just standing there with turkey in my hand, and I'm just like, fuck, I need to go stop this lady. This old man can't fucking stop her. So I just dart out the door and chased her across the parking lot, and just like, I was like, what are you doing? What the fuck's wrong with you? Like, that's an old man. And
did you tackle her?
Well, no, because she saw me running up on her. She dropped everything. And she got all mad that I came and got the bags. And I was like, you can't steal from an old man. I was like, what the fuck's wrong with you, lady? Like,
that's cool, though. At least
yeah.
you kind of like knew the situation of what was going on. Like, this guy's a regular. He always comes here.
Yeah, and so then after I gave him his sandwich for free, because like, I'm not going to make you buy a sandwich after you just basically got robbed. Like, I feel like that'd be kind of shitty. So it's like, here you go. You just take this.
That makes sense.
And then I had our security guard walk him home, because I was like, yeah, no, I don't want you to like get bombarded by someone.
At least you kind of played the role of the police figure.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about being in law enforcement?
Oh, fuck no.
Why is that?
Just not for me. I don't know.
All right, let's play a little game here, okay?
Okay.
All right, so I'm a delinquent little kid, and you're the cop, okay? You're
Okay.
a cop, all right?
All right.
And like you like bust me stealing at a store, okay? All right. All right,
Okay.
here we go. Ready?
Ready.
Okay.
Why are you crying? You didn't have to steal the stuff. Why are you crying? Okay, I won't tell her if you won't. Just stop crying. You know what? Here, just actually take the stuff and go. Never mind. I won't tell your mom. You can have the stuff.
What?
That's how I can't be a cop. I'd be like, you know what? This is too much for me. I can't do this.
You have to like stop them and just gonna be like,
I wouldn't be able to do it. I'd be like, you know what? Never mind. As soon as someone starts crying, I'm gonna be like,
grab
oh my
the
God.
nightstick. You grab the
No!
nightstick.
Oh my God, I can't beat them when they're already down. That's why I can't be a cop. I'm like, you know what? Never mind.
Shut up.
Or
You're resisting arrest.
I would start crying with them. I'm like, you know what? You're right. This is super bad. Like, we can't tell your mom.
It's not that bad though. I shouldn't have been stealing. And you know what I was stealing?
What?
Pokemon cards.
Okay, you know what? I can't even be mad. I would be stealing Pokemon cards too.
What?
Shit. See, I can't be a law enforcement officer.
You're like one of those cops who's just like, all right, son, I'm gonna let you off with a warning this time. Only because I remember when I wanted to steal Pokemon cards.
Or if I like pull someone over and they're smoking weed, I'm like, so you can either smoke with me or I'm gonna take all your weed and smoke it myself. See, I wouldn't be able to be a cop.
I would take it. I'd just like, see this? I'm taking this. And that's it. I don't need to continue with the whole
No.
investigation.
No, just call it good.
I remember there was this one time where in the small town where I used to live in, it was called Penasco. It's up towards Taos and shit like that.
Okay.
My friend and them got pulled over. We got pulled over by a cop, and we were smoking, and he smelled it. He's just like, hey, I know you guys are smoking. Can you guys just fess up? And like my friend, he was driving, gave him the pipe, and then he just looked at it and was like, this all you guys have? Is this it? And we're just like, yeah, we just smoked. We're trying to go home. And he's like, okay. He just threw it, like, because it's a wooded area,
Yeah.
so you could go find it, but we're just kind of freaked out. So he threw it, and he's just like, you guys need to go home, and I don't want to see you guys out on the road for the rest of the night. And we're just like, oh, fuck, yeah, for sure. So we left, but it was one of those cops, like,
Yeah, jeez.
for all we know, he went to go look for the stupid pipe after he threw it.
Probably.
Or he just, like, kind of, like, underhanded it over there. He's just like, I'm getting rid of this.
Jeez.
Just kidding. But it was a weird experience. It was cool that the cop let us go, but it's kind of like, where does the law take into effect then? What if we just got done murdering somebody, but yet he let us go? He's just like, I'm not going to investigate this anymore. I'm pretty tired.
But how would he know?
He should be doing his job. We broke the law by smoking marijuana.
I mean, yes, but
For all we know, we got a foot in the trunk.
well, does you smoking marijuana mean he has to search you? Is that like literally like in coded law? Like, hey, if you pull over someone for weed, you have to search them.
That's a good.
If it's up to the officer, I mean, because think about that then. Because there's even if it was in law, and let's say it was a law, like they have to legally search you if they find weed. But think about how many officers are breaking that law. How many officers you probably encountered that break that law. Now, think about how many times officers let someone go off a weed thing when really that person might have had a foot in their trunk. There's at least, like, there's so many people and situations in this world. There's at least one person somewhere that's had that happen. Or they literally killed someone and got away with it because a cop thought they were smoking. Or just something, like, they had a taillight out even.
Yeah, and they like, ignored the actual
Exactly.
sense.
Think about that. That's so crazy. Like, I don't know, because the cop wouldn't know. How would he ever know? Unless, like, maybe down the road, like, he saw you on the news and was like, oh, shit, I could have, like, been part of this murder, you know?
Yeah, see, that's what blows me away is
So,
that if most of those situations were like that, where, like, he's like, oh, whatever, it's one of these stops, I'm done for the night, and then the next morning it's just like, this just in, blah, 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 blah.
I would shit myself if I was a cop and that happened to me. I mean, think about how many times that has happened. Or, like, think about, like, all the situations. Like, maybe, like, yesterday this cop pulled over some guy for speeding, and tomorrow he comes on the news, and that same guy, 12 hours after he stopped him for speeding, is now in the news because he got pulled over for a drug bust, and that cop was like, that could have been me on there stopping him, or like, holy shit, I just saw that guy at the store earlier. That's so crazy. Like, you never know what someone's doing in their own life. Like, because even when you know people, they still are, like, so much more than you don't know.
Right.
It's so crazy.
It's
like,
a simulation.
Exactly. Like, you know. Because,
Like,
I mean, everyone likes to think they know their friends, but it's like, what do your friends do when you're not there?
I thought you were from New Mexico this whole time.
Exactly. Like, it's just, like, you never know how much you know a person. Because there's so much to know about a person, and then there's so much that people don't know about themselves. It is a simulation. It's never ending.
But that's the beauty of just asking and knowing, trying to find out. Like, again, that's the beauty of this podcast. Like, I would never found out anything about you, get to know you a little bit more, but because of this conversation, like, how many times have you ever really just sat and talked with somebody for an hour about random bullshit?
Jeez.
It doesn't really happen
Not
anymore.
really, no.
It doesn't happen. It's either like some kind of messaging or some kind of like adverse way of doing it where we're talking, but it doesn't last this long. There's no real concept of the conversation, even though we're really talking a bunch of bullshit. But still, we're having this conversation where I know a little bit more about you. I get to understand and get some of your views. Like, literally, I can't now, every time we joke, I know it's going to be, hey, I can make a political joke because I know she's not going to be offended by it. She's not going to be this kind of person. Or, oh, I can make this kind of joke. Or it's all of a learning process of this, just talking and just getting to know people.
Yeah,
But we don't do that anymore.
I know. I think people really need to get out there and get to know people more. Like, there's so much that you could actually know about a person that could enhance, like, your interactions that people don't even bother with. Like, seriously. Like, all it takes is literally a conversation. Like, I know more about half my customers than I do some of my friends sometimes.
All right,
like,
look at that old guy.
Exactly. Like,
He's your homie.
exactly. It's just
What's his
crazy.
name? Do you know his name?
No, because it's really...
You ruined our whole point.
You want to know what's going to really ruin that whole sweet story of me saving his groceries? Is up until that point, I hated him. Like, honestly, like, every time he came in, I was like, oh my god.
Here he is again.
Yeah, I was like, oh great, here he is. Because he would get the most annoying sandwich. He would always get like a 6-inch on white bread, and then he'd make me carve out the bread, and I would just be so annoyed by that every time. And he'd want pepperoni and chicken and like shredded cheese, and he wants you to toast it, and then he wants guac on it, and then it's just like this... And the way it smells when it comes out and you put the guac on it, it's like literally like...
It's just
it's like, no, it's like I want to tell him, like, I'm not going to make this for you. That's how I feel. And so every time he comes in, I'm like, oh my god. And then that day, it happened so that he left his groceries out there, and that lady came into that, and then I was like, wow, I just helped this man that I really did not care for. And now I feel like, you know, he's not so bad.
Well, see, that just more implements how much of a nice and good person you are.
Yeah.
Like, even though you had this kind of feeling or this whatever towards this guy, you saw in a situation where it was kind of like, you know, there's nothing he can do.
Yeah.
I'm obviously in this spot. I can do something. And then I guess you can say the better side, you know, in that stupid scenario of like the two angels and devils, like, you went with the good, or you could have just been like, he's getting robbed, it's about time, you know.
Yeah.
But you actually didn't. You were more sincere and very nice about it, and that's awesome. Like, now I feel like that's just, again, knowing a little bit more about you from a story that you told that I've never seen or I've never got to feel, but knowing that is just like, wow, you know, Jazz is pretty cool. Maybe I can just be like, Jazz, I'm dying. Can you help me out?
Yeah, that's definitely one thing about me. I'm always down to, like, help, regardless of how I feel about a person.
I mean, that's why we're here talking. You're down. You were like, yeah, I'm so down to be on your podcast. And it's helping
so
me out.
excited,
Like, I like having more guests on and like trying to get more in depth with whatever we talk about. Again, and there's always so much to talk about. Like we didn't even scratch the surface of aliens yet.
No, jeez.
Do you believe in Atlantis? Do you think Atlantis was a real thing?
I think so, and I think it could still be a real thing, but I would never go there. I don't know how to swim, so I guess I'll never know.
Right, or it's one of those air pocket things.
You know what I was reading on Twitter today, though, that really actually intrigued me? And I don't know how true it is, because I didn't read the article or dig deeper on it, because I was in a hurry of doing something else. But apparently NASA just, like, announced that they found in, like, a parallel universe.
I think I saw that.
I was like, that really intrigues me and brings on the hella Rick and Morty vibes. And, like, I kind of want to learn more about it, but like I said, in the time, I was busy.
How can that's so trippy to think about, though?
It really is. I'm like, wow, could you imagine? Like, literally, like, have you seen Stranger Things?
No.
Really?
I don't want to see it either.
Oh Lord. It reminds me of that too. Like their flip world, but their flip world is like a dark world. I don't think it'd be like that. Well, maybe. But this world's already so shitty. Maybe it's better on the parallel side.
The only news that I'm seeing right now from NASA is this NAME's Dark Energy Telescope from Nancy Grace Rome. It's like this awesome telescope that they made for dark energy.
Awesome.
Awesome dark telescope energy. Look at it. Look at it. It looks powerful. Just kidding. I don't know what that
that's
is.
crazy. Whatever it is pretty cool.
Dark energy.
So what is it, like pick up dark energies?
Wednesday that one of its most ambitious upcoming space telescopes would be named after Nancy Grace Roman, who pioneered the role of women in the space agency. Is being designed to investigate the mysterious dark energy speeding up the expansion of the universe and to scan space for exoplanets belonging to distant stars. So that's what it's doing. It's doing all that stuff.
Interesting.
So yeah, that's pretty crazy.
But true or not, I think it'd be kind of interesting. And I do believe that there are parallel like universes out there to ours, for sure.
Like I could totally believe that theory or that aspect of it, because one thing that always blows me away too is just the number of infinity.
Yeah.
Like that number blows me away. That idea, because you can literally count 1, 2, 3, 4, but you'll never. You could always go forever, right?
Yes, exactly.
But we never really think about the smaller aspects of it, like from 0 to 1, like 0.1, 0.2.
Jeez, yeah.
There's no end to that.
No.
So that just proves inside of a smaller span that we can't even understand, it's an infinite amount of knowledge and data that can just be mathematically proven.
Literally.
Blows me away, just like I don't know if you've ever really thought about it, but right now, in front of our faces, tons of particles and atoms are just totally colliding and blowing up with each other right in front of our face. Right now.
Right.
I know I'm freaking out about it, but it's happening. But we just can't see it. And that goes more back into what we were talking about of our perspective of zooming in and stuff. That's just on another level that we just can't see.
Do you think we would be able to achieve that?
With neural links in our brain?
That's different.
No, it's
not. They
not.
want you to think that. That's how it all starts.
How do you get a better brain by if not improving it?
That's what they want you to think. That's how it all starts.
I'm just saying.
That's how it all starts, Angel.
I would rather have a computer chip in my brain right now to be able to see particles in front of my face. I would do it.
And for what? Just so you could?
Maybe I can manipulate them.
Into what then?
Anything.
Yeah, and then you do that, and they see that you can do that, and then they take you into testing, and then now you're a military weapon.
But then,
just like Iron Man.
But what if everybody can do that?
And we just have big, freaking weapons that are human sized to take over the world, and then these conspiracies could go on and on and on.
What's not to think that when we become godlike, that our ambitions that we have as humans don't disappear, because we are now godlike.
If you don't believe in God, then what determines something being godlike?
We don't know. What is godlike? Think of it this. Okay, everyone has the idea of godlike, right? When they're like, "Oh, I create." Like creating, obviously, that sounds like godlike power, right?
Okay, yeah.
So does flying. Just flying sounds like a godlike power, right?
I mean, I think of superheroes first, but yeah.
Okay, but then if that's the case, then why can a bird do that? A bird already has an aspect of a god that we all...
Well, why can't they talk?
They do, obviously, with each other. And there's obviously other birds that actually learn vocabulary.
So then do you think that animals just talk on a different frequency that we can't understand? Do you think if, let's say they do talk on, a different, wavelength. If animals talk on the same, wavelength that we did, do you think we would hear them in English? Or, / our native language? Or do you think that animals are literally their own genetic makeup, their own brain type situation? You know what I'm trying to say?
I kind of think it's their own brain type situation thing, because I'm pretty sure Well, we've studied dogs to a sense where we know the difference between an angry bark and a whimpering bark and a terrified bark. So we kind of get that aspects, but do we really know the concept of them? Like, again, if two dogs are next to each other, we'll never understand what they're literally thinking to each other, because that's on another level on itself. But what if that other level of what they do is just way better and bigger than our level? Because one thing that blows me away about animals is that their sense of brain, like whatever part of their brain, is way better with vision and sense. Like, but we kind of have the same structure of a brain, you know? Like, the brain is a brain. Obviously, it might be a little bit bigger, a little bit. I don't know.
Well, do you think animals have better, like, sense of hearing and all that because they can't talk? So, I mean, think about it. Someone that's blind can hear way better than we can, and vice versa, you know? Like, so, it's like a trade-out.
Yeah, but they still can speak. Like, they still can hear you and stuff. So I just don't understand if they wouldn't be able to comprehend what we say.
So when you tell your dog to sit, do you think your dog hears sit? Or do you think your dog has heard you say it so many times in that tone that it just knows that's what it means?
Yeah, I think it heard it so many times in that tone, it knows what it means. Because you've seen dog training where they constantly repeat the same cycle over and over again. I mean, you'll never really, you know that they know the phrase, but do they know the phrase in like a concept kind of way? Like, do they know what they're doing in a way? They're like, I'm sitting because he's mad, or I'm sitting because he's commanding me to, or is it just because, oh, it's that word, I need to do it? Okay,
so then how come when, let's say, like your dog got in the trash while you're at work, and you come home and she sees you and she darts and she goes and lays in her bed, do you think she knows because, like, you've gotten mad before because of that? Yeah. Or, like, what if it's, like, her first time ever doing that? Would you think, like, she'd be scared right away, or do you think that's a learned thing to be scared, like, oh shit, I fucked up?
I think it's a little of a learned thing.
Then why do they keep doing that thing?
Because they're just like
do they have a thrill in getting in trouble?
Yeah, and that's kind of like in our sense too. Like, as a human, we kind of go for the like thrill, or like the suspenseful, or like the crazy thing. Like, I mean, if you think about it, we obviously have a little bit of more of a brain computing power, but if you saw something on like the table and you're just like, God, that's actually really good, like food, and you wanted to eat it, like you would want to eat it. But I don't get, oh man, it's crazy, because that's, I guess, kind of a problem that I've had with my dog, is that like she's only done it once, but it's weird when she does it. I'm just like, I don't get like why you would have done it that time, but it's been there multiple times and you've never done it. So that's, again, in itself too. Maiden Price said, how do they acknowledge their names or names? I think you're talking about the dog, right? And I feel
like my cat knows his name to an extent, but then
the cat does not know his name.
I think he does, but then it's like I was saying, maybe he just knows his name because I say it in the same tone, and I'm usually talking directly to him, so he just knows.
Yeah.
But then I'll be like, come here, and he'll follow. So I'm like, is it all just based on how you say things repeatedly?
Maybe.
Or do they actually understand, and we just can't understand them?
I think it's
like, what if animals are aliens?
No, that's a little too. You're getting upset. No, I don't see. That's what I'm confused about too. It's like I wouldn't know the difference. Like, yeah. And I feel like an animal can understand us to a sense, but we just don't understand the animal. But we do in a sense, because obviously we know when an animal like needs to use the bathroom or something, because they acknowledge it in some way.
Like body language. And
stuff. Or she kind of like knows like, hey, I can't use the bathroom in here, so I need to go outside. But
okay, so then do you think that humans, like, we know our names? Do we know our names because our parents literally called us that until we knew our names?
Yeah.
Or is it because we're just used to hearing it, and now when anyone says it, we know, because we know words? You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
I think it's in that same sense. Because I don't know, I actually wish I knew this with more dogs, but if we had a group of 10 people and they all said the dog's name in different areas of the house or whatever, would the dog come to those, or would it just go to the familiar sounds of its name? Because I mean, I don't know how you feel. I feel sometimes if some people come over and they say BB-8, I think she knows her name because that person says it. But then again, I don't know. I'm just like, it sounds probably close to what I say all the time. That's why she reacts to it.
Yeah.
But
because like my thing is like, what if like we never got called any, like what if our parents never gave us a name? Like we just grew up like, hey, come here. Hey, like what are you doing? Or like, here's this. Or like, you know, they just talk to us. They never said our names. And like one day you're 16 and someone's like, hey, what's your name? And you're like, do you think you would just have a name, or would you really not know? Like, so that's why I'm like, their names are so weird. Like, is it like a learned thing, or is it like part of like just knowing English thing? You know?
I don't know. I think it's a known thing, because obviously you can teach a dog Spanish.
Yeah.
You can still say the same commands and stuff in Spanish or whatever language, and it still would understand it. Mm-hmm. So I just think it's just a learned thing where it's just repeated and it just learns it, not based off of knowing the word, but just knowing the action of the word. Like, oh, he keeps saying it, I keep having to do this, I get rewarded for it, so I'm going to just do it every time he says it.
Right. Makes sense.
Kind of like habit, I guess. It's learning the habit of it. Jazz, we've been here for an hour and 15.
No way.
Yeah, it's not that bad. We've had some good times, some chill chats.
For sure.
I haven't done this segment in a while, but I kind of want to do it with you. Are you down? This segment is called Rapid Fire.
Okay.
Have you heard of it?
No.
Okay, cool. What it is I have a list of 10 words. All right? I'm going to say the word, and what I want you to do is say the first thing that pops into your head. Okay? So I'm going to just be like, bicycle.
I don't know how to ride a bike. That's the first thing that comes in my head.
That's fine. See, stuff like that, okay? So there's going to be 10 words, and you say the first thing that comes to your head, okay?
Okay.
All right, give me a second. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. This is rapid fire, people. Ten seconds on the clock. Just kidding. There's no time on the clock.
Oh, like shit. Okay.
All right. Again, I'm just going to say the word, and you say the first thing that pops in your head, okay?
Okay.
Pizza.
Cheese.
Island.
Animal Crossing.
Music.
Nothing. Like, literally, nothing came to my mind, really. You said music, and I was like, all I could hear was, like, this music in the background.
Okay. Black.
My wardrobe.
Trippy.
Shrooms.
Fast.
Cars.
Animal.
My cat.
Space.
Time.
Maze.
Runner.
Army.
I hate the military.
Drugs.
Drugs.
Native American.
I have a few friends that are native.
MuseMe.
You.
That's it. That's it. That's rapid fire, everybody.
That was really fun.
Yeah, it's just like one of those weird psychological tests. Just like see maybe you said something weird, and then everybody that I've had on the show for a while, like I haven't done it for a while because I've had Irvin as repeated guest, or I've had like who's the other guy that I've had on a few times? Lloyd Lee and stuff like that. I've had a few Josh was the other guy too. After I've done it with them, I don't do it anymore. So, but there are a bunch of people that have done that same list, and it's funny to like compare yourself to be like, oh, pizza, and then you said cheese, but somebody sometimes says pepperonis, pineapples, dumb stuff.
That's cool.
So it's just like a weird psychological test. Anyways, Jazz, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
I
for
had a lot of
coming.
fun.
Yeah, we got to do this again.
Yes, definitely.
Is there anywhere you want anybody to find you? Do you want them to find you on social media or anything like that?
I'm at Neutron Jazz on Twitter. I mean, I tweet like my whole life basically. So
you're a big tweeter.
Yeah. So I mean,
make sure to follow her.
Content on there.
Follow her on Twitter, guys. And anything else you want to let the world know before we leave? My 3 viewers right now.
Aliens are real.
There you go. You heard that here, folks. You heard it here, folks, first.
Aliens are real.
Aliens are real. Make sure to tune in. We'll be back tomorrow. Have some more guests. Peace.